Doctor Who, the 2019 New Year's special, and the only episode of Doctor Who that we are going to get in 2019. This episode is just fantastic. It's wonderful. You got great character stuff. Like, I'm probably going to talk about the stuff doing with Ryan and his dad first. Then I'm going to talk about the big threat and all that. And, you know, I might spoil a little bit. A little bits and pieces. Mild spoilers, but like who's the villain is and all that. But so we want that. But the stuff doing with Ryan and his dad is just fantastic. Because in this episode, you know, Ryan's dad comes back and he realizes that he hasn't been the best dad. He hasn't been the great husband. He hasn't even been a good, you know, decent human being. He hasn't. Yeah, he's a guy who runs away from things. And he realizes that at this point of his life, him reflecting on his life, he realized that, hey, I kind of need to fix things and amend things with my son. And because Ryan, who's been hurt so many times by him emotionally, he's having a hard time. You know, he's having a hard time to accept his apology. And you got this wonderful scene in a cafe, and his dad is like saying the words like, "Hey, how you going?" And Ryan's like, "Really? We haven't seen each other for X amount of years, and that's how you're gonna say like 10 we're all good, or with just a lovable father-son thing? Like, really? What? Why do you come back? Why do you want to see me? You know?" And you got this wonderful scene of that, and it's this wonderful written stuff, and you're like, Chris Chibnall knows how to write good, like, one-on-one conversations and just let you be captivated. While at the same time, in this episode with the big threat, and that being, spoiler alert, a Dalek, the Daleks are back in this, you feel the intensity of the threat at the same time, because I think the idea, the moment you hear Dalek, you know what they can do and you know who they are, and the moment you see them, and the moment you see that Dalek, you're like, I feel the threat, I feel the tendency, something that I haven't felt about seeing a Dalek for a very long time. Because, you know, if you don't know, there's a weird deal thing with the BBC and the Daleks, where they have to use the Daleks once a season, or they lose the rights over them. Kind of makes them fall into the category of, like, the more you see them, the less of a threat they are, and is, you know, the BBC are in a sick situation because of that deal. Episode used them really well, and, you know, at the beginning of when they start showing up, there's only one Dalek. When the Dalek shows up, I felt like, okay, this might be like the episode Dalek on a bigger scale, and it felt like, okay, it's like, what if the Dalek in that episode was not friendly to Rose? What would that be like? And because that situation, you feel that sense of tendency, and every time that the Doctor is talking about the Dalek or faces the Dalek, there's a sense of hatred, a stuff about them, but also a sense of fear, because she knows what a Dalek is capable of doing, and you're so, like, locked in, and how Jodie Whittaker plays this role in this episode is just great. And I think, like, here's the thing, like, I enjoy Jodie Whittaker's performance as the Doctor. I like this version of the character, just writing wise, but there hasn't been, until this episode, like, the Pandora open scene, you know, where the Doctor's on Stonehenge and you know, basically, you know, come at me scene. There hasn't been that scene, or the speech that the 12th Doctor gave in that Zygon, that two-part Zygon story in season 9. There hasn't been that. But this episode, there's several of them. Because when you because this episode makes you feel, okay, now you know the personality, you understand what this doctor is, and you feel like with this character, when you have that scene of the final meetup, finally the meetup between the Dalek and the Doctor, you are captivated, and how they're everything there with the Dalek is great. You know, it's just wonderful, and it is one of those things. It's hard to describe it. You know, I'm trying not to get spoilers away, but I like the design of it, because in this, the Dalek, most of the episode, they are the squid kind of creatures, and they don't have the Dalek body that we all know. So basically, they had to build things from a scrapyard, and I'm like, damn, can that be the you know, for at least the Chris Chibnall years, can that be the design of Daleks? I like it. That sense of threat and the sense of it. I'm just repeating myself because there's a lot of cool moments, and there's a lot of smiling, and a lot of that, and it's one of those like, damn it, why is the only episode of Doctor Who of this year is at the beginning of the year? Why, BBC? Why?